Here is a part 2 segment to Sondia Bang, An Evening with Accompong Maroon, Chief Richard Currie. Before we begin, I have a very important message. The ancestors knew what they were doing, so much so that as I was getting ready for this event, a cocoon ambush leaf from my trip to Accompong 2 weeks ago flew out of my bag. For me, it was a beautiful reminder of who walks with us. These clips include important reasoning from our panel discussion. Listen in as Dutty Bookman delves into the origin of his moniker, its Maroon relation, and the embodiment of its energy. Meanwhile, I delve into the role of femininity to the movement, my journey, and address into the diaspora on the importance of returning to our Maroon roots in Jamaica.
I want to start this discussion with feminine energy. And I'm saying this because the name that I carry, Dutty Bookman, is always said to be the person who started and instigated the Haitian Revolution. He originated in Trelawney Town, found his way in Haiti, and was there at an important ceremony on August 14, 1791, at a place called Bois-Caiman, which translates to us in English as Alligator Woods. And the little known fact about the Bois-Caiman ceremony is that it was organized by women. It was women who were more able to pass messages through the plantations, who were less scrutinized and observed by the slave masters. And Cecile Fatiman, among others, were the ones who spread the word that this meeting, very important meeting, was going to happen. And Cecile Fatiman herself started the ceremony in a very sacred ritual. And so I must observe the overwhelming presence of women, of the feminine, in this space here today. It is not surprising to me that women are always the ones who come to the important gatherings of liberation. And so I want to tip my hat to all of you. And also, we got the man them. Yeah? It's a nation building process. We need all energy. So I want to start with you, Empress LaTara. I want you to speak to why it is that it is so important for us to understand here in Florida what is happening with the Maroons in Jamaica. You yourself tracing your roots there.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So, why do I think it's important? It's important because we're nothing without roots. We're nothing without our foundation. And as you mentioned, as women, we're to give up life in the port for the resolutions. So, hold it closer. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, sorry about that. So as I mentioned, we're not only to give up life, but we're the portal to the solutions and the warriors. The masculine and feminine works hand in hand. For me personally, just giving a little bit about my background. I'm a vice president in human resources, medical device industry, live in a corporate world when one day dreams and visions started coming for me. I started seeing Arawakan people in the middle of Jamaica telling me stories that came to fruition. I started seeing Nani and Kojo came to fruition. I even saw the chief years before I even knew his existence come to fruition. I saw this event 2 years ago before it came to fruition. So with that being said, it was something I personally couldn't escape. I did try, and in return lost my job in the middle of a pandemic. And I refused to until I submitted to the call that God had over my life. In doing that, 3 days later, got the career of a lifetime and was able to focus on my journey, knowing that God would take care of my land. So why it's important is because growing up on Maroon, it was, like she said, frowned upon. So growing up for me, it was like, you know you're Maroon, but don't say nothing. You know, that's all it is. And now we're in a space where we need that foundation to know who we are, to bring beauty and light to it. just no different than Marcus Garvey, which what I love about him was he took the time to instill pride in the people, wherever you are, to pick you up and show you just how beautiful you are. And so that's part of my journey here is I'm also from the Coptic country. I'm from a neighboring district called Mulgrave. And so I've reconnected back with my district. I've reconnected back with Accompong. I've reconnected back with the people to understand them. And they're beautiful people, mild-mannered people, very close to God, have pure hearts. And I think it's important because as the keeper of the lands, we need to ensure that we take care of this space, first and foremost for God, and then for the people. So, I'm asking you.
Thanks.